Good morning. Is the sound better? Yes. Sorry, I'm the whisperer. You got those? Couple just jack it up in your hand. But morning, it's so good to be here. Nod your hands. I'm here today. You are. I'm present in this moment. Present in this moment. So I'm really excited about the title of this talk, and I'm more excited to hear what's going to be. Usually I'll do a little pat, knowing that it's just going to come through. This time I wasn't even allowed to do. So I'm excited. But I do know what we are going to do. We're going to start with a prayer to create sacred space for today's sacred. So if I could ask everyone to just kind of breathe into the heart, close your eyes. How's the sound? Okay. Up higher. I'm just like, stick out. All right, heart open, eyes closed. Feet planted under earth. Feel the rich soil. As I ask all the divine beings, angels and saints, all of which we call God, the universe, to enter the space and surround it with love, safety, protection, that each and every one of us here today can receive the healing through my voice, through the words, through the vibration in the room, the vibration that you all bring in. You receive and hold and heal only that which is in your highest good. Heal it and feel it in a way that's unique for you. We may all hear a different talk today. All that matters is that you are open to that which is sacred. That when you leave here, something is moved and shifted in you that is forever within you. You can share each and every day. With a deep breath. Know that we are all relations and we are here in this moment together. You can slowly open your eyes if you wish. So what is sacred? Some people think it has two meanings. Connection to higher power, God, whoever it is that we hold in that way that works and resonates within us. And the other definition is what is precious to me. Like, what do I hold precious? What do I hold sacred? A space, a person, a thing, a thought, a value. They're not really different, are they? They're different in the dualism in which we think, is we think they have to be separate. My connection to God and that which I hold precious. But that is sacred. The sacred is that awakening in our heart that knows that's what is precious to me is also that which is that connection to my higher self, to God, to my soul. When we separate that is when we have our most struggle and suffering. It's impossible to be in that awakened high consciousness mystical state called sacred. You know, it's transcendent, it's mystical, it's magical. It has form, it's formless. When we try to talk to somebody about that moment of sacred that kind of falls flat, it's ours alone. We heal it and know it. When we separate that from a thing that has meaning or a person or a value, in that moment we've created the very thing we're trying to not do. So everything within us, around us, is sacred. How do we live that way? How do we find that sacred within? What's a little bit what today's about? My medicine bundle that came today, so it's always a little different, is a sacred item. Indigenous medicine people will carry their medicine in a bundle, holding it sacred so it doesn't get contaminated and travel. In the opening, there is intention for sacred space. As each item is taken out of its home of safety and placed upon the bundle, the altar, usually Mother Earth in some ways, so those cloth structures at Mother Earth. The intention of each item's sacredness comes forward because it has form, and the human hand can connect to that. And as I hold each item, I know it's medicine. As a medicine person now, that medicine is part of this room. This building is a sacred building. We drive up, we know we're coming for a spiritual moment. We have intention of a sacred space. We step in here differently than maybe we step into our kitchen. I don't know, the kitchen's a pretty sick. And one of the other spaces that we all know is sacred, Mecca, Jerusalem. When I say those words, does something happen to them? You resonate to a vibration. What makes a sacred space? Oh, that's the mystical moment of all of it. The pyramids, they must be sacred, so we don't know how they arrived and how they got there. So, okay, we're going to call that sacred. But sometimes we walk into a space and it's just different. Is it our sacredness walking in? Is it the sacredness of the space energetically? Is it those people in the room? Does it matter? Sometimes. If it's something like Mecca or Jerusalem, I know where I'm headed. But it's not always that big. And the temples in India, there's so many. Oh my God, there's so many. I was in an area called Kumbakonam. Very small village, 2,000 temples. Beautiful. Pink and blue and huge. And statues and a reverence and flower garlands everywhere. It's sacredness and the most poverty. I couldn't get it. My human mind couldn't get how is this sacred when people are starving. Couldn't get it. The holy people gave me all kinds of answers, which, we can talk about if we want to. What was most important to me was even in that suffering, the knowing of the sacred, you couldn't mistake it. How can we do that when we have everything? Feeding the gods in the Hindu religion is very important. So you offer eggs, bananas, coconuts, food, and then the Hindu priest give that back to his prasad, because once the guys have eaten it, it's sacred, and you're to eat it. Well, you happen to do that mindig over tab and throw it over your shoulder. You could get sick, but you take the energy of it. Outside that temple, crippled, starving people, waiting for the prasad. I found out later that they agreed to take on your karma, because that's your karma clearing in that food, so they could eat. And they pray for you when you give them that little bit of leftover food. But it's God's food. Think about that. Amidst that suffering, those moments of sacred, it's possible. Do you feel it in you now? I have goosebumps, my voice is trembling. It's not nerves. I want to cry. And why? So how do we discover the sacred within us? How we celebrate the sacred within us? Because we're not one being, aren't we? No. We have multiple values that we hold dear or sacred. Ours. We have multiple personalities. There's biker chick, there's the rock and roll chick in the shower, there's the minister, the wife, mother, daughter. Think of all the different beings within us. Each part of us, each dimension, each unique personality that lives within this one form is sacred. Has connection to our soul. Think about that. Yet we're so busy, always on task. I don't get it. I don't even know where I live anymore, so I get it. How in that craziness do we hold sacred? Like, who's driving the car today? Is it gal who found a song on the radio and she's like cranking it up and singing? Is it the one who's so mad and angry that what just happened that she's like road raging? Who's driving? We always hear about staying present, and in being present and awake, sacred unfolds. Yes. How many of us have conquered that? How many years have we been stuck? Okay, we get it. We get it. That's not what's driving the bus. The sacred within wants to be heard. The call of our soul wants to be heard in celebration, in cherish. But the uniqueness of humanity is that it's a paradox. Our mind doesn't shut up. The committees, subcommittees, there are subcommittees, and all the charters that they have to go through as they're chattering around in our mind with all the tasks we have to do and all the things we've done wrong our whole life, and why did that person hurt me? the endless stream of endless blocks our sacred divinity from selling. So we'll read these moments where it's like, okay, go harding out Sunday morning. Let it go. It's wonderful. We're trying to share it. How do we hold it? How do we allow that duality to happen? Because it's human and still hold sacred our own sake. But how do we find it? Because I was speaking about values and thoughts and things that are precious, our connection to higher self, and what is the divine. Were all of you thinking like what those things were for yourselves? First thing we have to do is know it, and we have to discover it, and we have to allow it to emerge. How do we know? What is the very first thing? There's some people in here that are pretty disciplined with prayer and meditation. You don't have to like show up pretty keep this. And those that are, I want to be, the can't. What if it was as simple as soon as you opened your eyes and you took a breath that you said, I cherish the sacred today. Believe it or not, that's hard. Because the first thing we're thinking is, brush your teeth. Have to go. Be here on time. What if in that first breath we can remember to say, I cherish the sacred way? Well, let's take a moment to find the first sacred nugget of image or essence or resonance within you that you can connect to. And we'll go from there. All right? Eyes closed. Deep breath. Feel your entire body. Feel the sacredness of each side, each molecule. Every breath is not an accident. Every moment has divinity and sacredness in it. We cannot be it that were not true. The scientists now are getting language and form and function to that which was always known. Nothing is an accident. Everything allows us to take a moment and say, yeah, I cherish this. But find your heart space. I'm going to help with that. So just kind of right here in your heart, feel that open. And if your mind is spinning, that's okay. Your heart will do the work anyway. What is it that you hold most dear, most precious? You're going to get a flood of thoughts. Grab them all. The first thing that pops into your heart, feel what happens. And you bring up the image of that connection. Feel that? Feel that little flutter of a blue butterfly? Blue butterflies have been everywhere around me as I've been trying to prepare this talk. So blue butterfly in your heart that flutters in the connection of that which is sacred to you. Now just allow that moment. A brief moment will change your brain and change your thoughts, whether you remember it when you leave here or not. Okay? Now, connect to your higher self, higher power, and the divine. It's the same, but not into this room. All of you just got pulled up. Now feel your third eye connect to your heart and that vibration of being pulled up. And know the possibility of having that vibration in you regardless, because it already is. You're just turning the light on. If that feels good or feels different, give me some kind of a sign, a finger, a hand. Now all you have to do is stay there, and what comes through me is going to do more for you. The sound of creation, the sound of awe, Big control. Sacred is connection with this formless in a form that's mystically transcended. It steps over and above all things to a higher vibration. We all have different words. The words are irrelevant. It's this experience that allows one to know every action is one on the highest of vibrations. Even when we are in our lowest of form, in our most suffering, there is purpose for that. When we can keep sacred in our heart, even in the worst pain, it can hold that divinity of sacred and connection in our heart to know we are never alone, no matter how alone we feel. This knowing is always alive, but now more active than ever because it's been initiated in you to me. I had the grace of that which is greater than all of us, that I had the privilege to be a vessel for you. No matter the suffering, it's okay, it will pass. We are all relation, we are all in this together. You open your eyes out. Indigenous people say walk sacred, talk sacred, stay me silent way, be sacred, love sacred. It's a reminder. By definition, the most beautiful incarnation ever is humanity. The passion, the sensuality, the smells, the food, the touch, all the pleasure. These are our gifts, and we Soga told us in our task and our hurt and our suffering that we separate it and have little moments of grace or bliss or what we call sacred, and we forget we're designed that way. It's not our fault. Boy, I tell you, but I finally got that one. Man, it is the greatest gift of all. Yes, of course, hold self-responsible, learn, grow, but the beating and the spinning, that's built in. We are drawn, we are pulled to sacred, we are pulled to high vibration, and we're wired to stay down here. It's an interesting, I don't understand. I try to understand, I read, I listen and meditate. It has purpose. We have to trust that because we're not alone. Any thought that you have, everybody on the planet's had one day or another, if not all at the same time. We are collective in our own conscience. We share that, although it doesn't feel that. Our job, the only way out used to be through a little bit. I say the only way out is transcending it. We have to go through a little bit. Do we have to go through as much sludge? I don't think so, not anymore. Because if we can hold on to these kinds of moments and remember them, then infinite possibility is ours and impossible doesn't exist. Yeah, it's not always that much hype, right? Like, I want it yesterday, right? We all get whenever that hits. The trust in your heart, sacred. To trust in your heart, Limon. To be able to do that every time you take a bite of food. Don't need to do the whole big breath. Wow. This is sacred. And I think springtime is amazing, right? It looks like everything's going to sleep or dead, and then bam, all this color and light. What's us? If we hold it in our heart and remember that, everything changes. The wiring of our brain changes instantaneously. Most of you understand that if you do gratitude from your heart every day, that your brain wiring changes. We know that if we can feel a moment of true meditation or a true connection of grace, our wiring in our life changes. Our job is to remember. The way to remember is to know that the sacred is within you. It's a light. It's a flame. Let's go back in and find the light. I already found your sacred. You know your things. Let's go back in, close your eyes. Let's find the eternal flame. Swami Ramalinga in the 1800s turned his body to light, and he lit an eternal flame in the temple before he did, and that flame has kept going all these years later. That flame was to represent the flame in all of us, the flame that is the oneness of our sacred. Do y'all see it? Just flickering in your heart. Can't not see it tight there, it's just putting you an image and visual. This is a gift from the divine for you today. Whenever things get difficult, find your flame. How do you emerge that flame once you've discovered it? Is to set your phone timer, reminder, calendar, write it down, post it on your forehead. Images or words that will immediately awaken your soul to the moment that which is sacred. Open your eyes. Did anybody see the movie The Man from Infinity? Where do you see that? Highly recommend. It's a true story. The young man from India wanted to go to Cambridge because he kept getting these math formulas. And they wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop. He finally gets to Cambridge and has notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of formulas. Of course, he didn't have a formal education, so he's being put through all of these texts. And they keep asking him, where did you get these formulas? You don't have proofs. You don't have proofs. He's like, Parvati put them on my tongue. She puts them on my tongue. Don't you see? Look at my books. He's there for a year, goes back to India. Long story short, today those notebooks are still in the library in Cambridge, and in those notebooks that they think are some of the formulas from Black Hole. From his formulas, so many of what we know today is how it started in those little notebooks. A little boy in Tamil Nadu who was catching formulas in the sky from Parvati. Okay. He never let them shake him. He knew what he knew. Because he had that belief, that trust that what's in his heart is desire. What he hears in his heart, what Flipper against is what's sick. That's how you bring it to emergence. You trust self. You trust your higher self. There is no such thing as I can't ever happen. Sure, like I can't be Marilyn Monroe. I'll be a once. And I know where she popped up. It's done. Well, India, where she was. Sure, those impossibilities. But in the real world, what your heart yearns for won't be those impossibilities. Pillow girl's dreams of being a rock star or a boy's dream. That your soul's true yearnings, those things, they're all possibilities. That's why they're there. They're sacred whispers waiting for you to remember them, cherish them, bring them forward. So as simple as remembering that when I look at Johnny Gendina, he's sick. When we go into judgment as self and other, there is no sacred. How do we do that? We just remind ourselves. We don't get mad. We don't judge ourselves for judging, but that works. Never works. Oh, God, I did it again. Sorry. That's it. Oh, I know that flame is here. I know that sacred objects and things and values and thoughts and people, all that is precious and all that isn't, is here for me to explore and experience, and in that divinity, become alive. Become alive. Can we be alive? But oh no, though. It's literally been like we're having a manic episode or something. But we come alive in a way that we yearn for. Doesn't matter if people get it. We don't want to make it a role of AMA or be bliss. But no, it's solid. See? It's a solid bliss of knowing that flipper of eternal flame and sacred is in me. That anything and everything that I value, cherish, that's precious to me is. Yeah. Kind of changing it all, isn't it? Just seal the vibration with the eye. And powerful. Is you cannot. Here's a part that you can drop formulas onto the tongue of a little boy. All the divine things, all that which you hold, Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Yin, string theory, doesn't matter. It has to form for you in that form and awaken your heart and make sure you're looking. Hoping some today is the energy that I know is in here is what I'm connecting to. So it can speak through me for you because otherwise I wasn't prepared. Let's take a moment to add to the eternal sound of Om. Because in sound, that flame gets awakened even more. Crowns open, heart open, feet firmly planted in Mother Earth and the Father Sky, who all that it means to you. As we wrap and close and tie a bow around all that is sacred for us. Together, please. Oh.